What's up guys, Dzeeff here. In today's Konami sponsored video, we have an early box opening of Pharaoh's Servant. Now that might sound a little bit weird because Pharaoh's Servant was released all the way back in 2002, but this is actually the 25th anniversary edition, which is pretty exciting. If you remember not too long ago, and I did a video on that as well, Konami released the Legendary Collection 25th anniversary edition, and in it they reprinted a bunch of old school sets, ranging from LOB all the way through Invasion of Chaos. This is a box version of those reprinted packs, and that's really cool because I'm sure a lot of people haven't even opened a Pharaoh's Servant box in a long time. I know that this set was released when I was in like first or second grade, so I certainly haven't opened any of these packs out of a box in a while. You know, you can now have access to these really older sets if you haven't opened them. Not to mention that if you wanted to do like a video with them or a sealed series with them, it's a lot easier to get a hold of these reprinted boxes compared to the iconic sets from way back in 2002. Those are pretty rare to come by in 2023, right? But I'm really excited to open this because Pharaoh's Servant is a great set. You have all sorts of powerful cards: Imperial Order, Jinzo, Trap Dust Chute, and plenty more. Pharaoh's Servant is a great old school set, and I'm sure we're gonna get some cool cards in it today. All right, here we go. Pharaoh's Servant, man. Way back in the day, how did I get Yu-Gi-Oh packs? My mom would probably buy me like one pack a week, maybe, and that's how I slowly accumulated my collection. So I definitely was not opening up entire boxes of Pharaoh's Servant as a second grader. That was not happening. Let's take a look at what we can get in here because, like I said, this pack has a ton of good stuff, even more than what I mentioned earlier. Premature Burials in the set, for example, just a lot of good cards. We have, first off, 7 completed, DNA Surgery, kind of a fun side deck card a couple different times, Spike Bot, great classic card, Type 0 Magic Crusher, and the Shallow Grave if you want to reuse some of your flip effects. Insect Imitation, cool card, kind of tested out in Insectors for a little bit, Bombardment Beetle, Bite Shoes, and Light of Intervention. And this set does have the secret rares that were originally included in the Pharaoh's Servant as well, just in case you were wondering. We have 3-headed Guido, Steel Ogre Garado, number 2, Inspection, kind of a weird card, Twin-headed Fire Dragon, classic Rex Raptor card, Gravity Bind, oh my gosh, one of Yu-Gi-Oh's oldest Floodgate type cards. Really, Gravity Bind is a classic Floodgate, restricts level 4 or higher monsters from attacking. We have this thing, Armored Glass, Solemn Wishes, that's a funny one, and Darkfire Soldier number 1. And do you remember all the number 1 and number 2 cards released back in the day? It was always funny because you would pull like a random Darkfire Soldier number 1 and it's like, oh, I guess there's a number 2 Darkfire Soldier out there somewhere, maybe number 3. We have Minor Goblin Official, Cyber Falcon. We talked about this card a lot on his stream the other day because I think it's kind of funny. The description on it says a jet-powered hawk, but the name is Cyber Falcon. So what is it? A falcon or a hawk? Who knows? Thousand Eyes Idol, World Suppression. Wait, what the heck is this? I've never even seen this card. You can activate this card when a field spell is activated. Negate the field spell during the turn of this card. Oh, nice. I've never even seen that card. We have the Knight, the double attacking bird, Earth Shaker, Major Riot, Respect Play, and Wing Weaver. That was a classic too. A lot of those big tribute monsters that were like high attack points, but commons were really big on the playground back in the day. Gift of the Mystical Elf, you know, Big Koala and the Wing Weaver, stuff like that. Driving Snow, Ground Collapse, that's a fun card. Overdrive, Monster Recovery, oh my gosh. So this card has one of the most confusing texts on any Yu-Gi-Oh card I've ever seen. They've tried to errata it a bunch of times, and I think the modern text makes a lot more sense, but the original version of this card was very confusing back in the day. Insect Barrier, Flame Champion, Drill Bug, and Gamble if you feel like flipping some coins. Next pack, where are the holos? You know, back in the day, we didn't pull holos out of every pack like nowadays, right? Mystic Probe, Reign of Mercy, Skull Invitation, and oh, speak of the devil, Parasite, very cool Weevil card, of course. Put it into your opponent's deck face up. This actually looks pretty nice. You know, it feels like it's really jumping out of the artwork, which is pretty much what it does. You know, it jumps out of your deck, right? Deep Sea Warrior, 4-starred Ladybug of Doom, and Solemn Wishes once again. Never got a chance to play that card in a real tournament, but I always wondered how it would go. Solomon's Law Book, Cold Wave, incredible card that's been banned for many years. If you're a new school player, maybe you've never seen this card, but this card can only be activated at the start of main phase 1. Until your next turn, you and your opponent cannot play or set any spell or trap cards. What an overpowered effect. It makes sense that it's banned now. It's pretty wild, right? Because it probably would have been good enough if they just restricted both players from activating spell cards, but restricting your opponent from setting trap cards on their turn is just ridiculous. Oh my gosh, what a crazy common. Science Soldier, Gust, Forced Requisition, and Insect Imitation once again. Island Turtle, 2K defense. This thing. And Oni Tank T34, featured in the artwork of a lot of cards, actually. Chicken Game, for example, and Pole Position, of course. You know, that really, really wacky card from back in the day. Is that in this pack? I don't even know. Maybe it is. Gradius, based on one of Konami's games that they made back in the day. A lot of support for this released over the years, actually. Shadow of Eyes, Ground Collapse, Burning Land, that's a fun one. 500 life points every single turn. Light Force Sword, Healer, Bombardment Beetle, Darkfire Soldier #1, and Bite Shoes. I'm also pretty sure with those #1 and #2 cards that there are a couple examples. Let's go! Darkfire Soldier #2. I think there's a couple examples of like the #2 card being released before the #1 got released, but we got both in this set, which is pretty cool. Solomon's Lawbook, Twin-Headed Fire Dragon, Spikebot, Prohibition. Oh my gosh, Prohibition, a card that occasionally still pops up in Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Not a bad side deck option. Sword Hunter, love this card. Healer once again, Drillbug, and Sky Scout. No longer Harpy's brother, Sky Scout. That was a mainstay in a lot of my decks back in the day. Had a couple copies of Harpy's Brother. 7 completed. Inspection, Thousand Eyes Idol, Nobleman of Extermination. Wait, oh my god, I was like, wait, did I just see a purple? I'm struggling to pronounce Extermination for some reason, but Thousand Eyes Restrict, that is so cool. Obviously, that is the cover card on the pack, and it was just hiding in that one just for us. So we have an ultra rare Thousand Eyes Restrict. What a cool throwback. Obviously very good if you're playing like GOAT format. A lot of people play that in Time Wizard events at YCSs, so definitely a cool pickup. The Time Wizard events are gaining a lot of popularity at YCSs especially, so it's cool to see Konami reprint these older sets. I think people actually will like that quite a bit. Dimension Hole, okay. Earthshaker, Bubonic Vermin. We have Skull Mariner, that's a fun one. Mr. Volcano. Man, there's so many. How many cards are these sets? I can't even remember. Was it over 100 cards? Who knows? But it feels like a lot of different cards that we're pulling here. Invitation to a Dark Sleep, Minor Goblin Official, Time Seal, another ban card. How many ban cards are in this pack? A lot of them. I think it's like 4 or 5 actually. Time Seal, really crazy card. Skip the draw phase of your opponent's next turn. Wait a sec, isn't this limited? I feel like they limited it when they put Yatagarasu 2-1, right? So it's actually back, but yeah, not too many people playing it these days. You know what? 1 copy per deck. Maybe a fun card. Oh, cool, Magical Hats. Oh my gosh. What a pickup. I loved this card in the anime back in the day. You know, the shuffling around and the Dark Magician popping in and out of them. Great. Magical Hats. That's a cool pickup. Yeah, the holos back then. So cool. World Suppression, Bombardment Beetle, and a couple of those cards as well. But Time Seal, yeah, it might be a funny card to play in like Labyrinth maybe, but it's just so hard to use. It's very, very slow, but could be fun. Who knows? 3-headed, once again, Cyber Falcon, Mystic Probe, Type 0 Magic Crusher, the Shallow Grave, and Deep Sea Warrior. Insect Barrier, Gamble, the Eye of Truth. Aren't there like multiple cards in this set that require both players to have their hand revealed? I don't even know. Like Respect Play and Eye of Truth are both in this set, and they're kind of similar. Gradius, again, Driving Snow, Science Soldier, Burning Land, Gravity Bind, nice, we can restrict our opponents from attacking. The All-Seeing White Tiger, Armored Glass, Metal Detector, and Sky Scout once again. Would it be cool to pull a secret rare, but unlike modern sets, secret rares are not guaranteed in every box. You actually, back in the day, secret rares were very hard to pull. A Gift of the Mystical Elf, Cold Wave again, Time Seal, 2 banned cards, or formerly banned cards, I guess in the case of Time Seal, right back to back there. Reign of Mercy, Appropriate, oh my gosh, this card, so many people would try combos with it, and sometimes they worked, but oftentimes they did not. Infinite Dismissal, Flame Champion, 4-star Ladybug of Doom, and Mr. Volcano. Yeah, it's very, very nostalgic going through these older sets. Very cool. Okay, DNA Surgery, the Bug, Inspection, Gust, the Knight, once again, Major Riot, Flying Kamakuri #2, Skull Mariner, and Light of Intervention. Here we go. Will we see another ultra rare? I think so, right? Shadow of Eyes, I actually can't remember. Darkfire Soldier #2, Twin-Headed Fire Dragon, Dark Bat, Shift, okay, the All-Seeing White Tiger, Bubonic Vermin. I think we've seen most of these common cards by now, but if I see a crazy one, I'll make sure to stop. Love seeing these commons. I feel like the commons were so much fun back in the day, you know, as a kid, just going through and like constructing a deck, like I said, out of 1 pack a week, basically. Oh, Gearfried the Iron Knight. Oh, this is a cool one. Has a couple upgraded forms, of course, but also just kind of like a funny card to play if your opponent randomly plays a bunch of equip spells, I guess. But if people equip stuff to it, it blows up immediately. Has a couple cool combos. There's like the, whatever that card is, Blast with Chain, I believe. It's a trap card that when it equips to Gearfried, it gets blown up and then you destroy a card on the field. That's kind of cool. Invitation to a Dark Sleep, DNA Surgery, Ground Collapse, Attack and Receive. Is that the first copy of this? That's kind of random. Skull Invitation, and oh my, no way. Oh my gosh, we have been getting crazy. Look at this 1,000. Jinzo is here. Now, obviously, I play a lot of trap decks, and Jinzo is a very fearsome card to play against, but I cannot lie, Jinzo is a very cool pickup. I loved this card back in the day, played in every single deck, of course, pretty much everyone did, and oh my gosh, look at that. Looks really nice. What a cool pickup. Jinzo out of that box. I can't believe it. Out of one box. Healer, Flying Kamakuri number, whatever, and the Regulation of Tribe. Well, I don't know how this can get any better unless we pull another ultra rare. There are a couple good ultra rares in this set. So we have Imperial Order, Premature Burial, a Cold Wave again, Spikebot, Thousand Eyes Idol, Mad, Sword Beast, and Infinite Dismissal. But honestly, with pulling these two cards, the Thousand Eyes Restrict and the Jinzo, I really can't complain. That is like the number 1 and number 2 card that I want to pull from the set. Moving on, we have the Bug again, Driving Snow, Overdrive, Souls of the Forgotten, Forced Requisition, and Bombardment Beetle. Couple bug cards in this set. Weevil must have been on the TV when this set was getting released. Kind of a weird way to say that, but who knows. Steel Ogre Garato number 2, Cyber Falcon, Time Seal again, we have a playset I believe, Science Soldier, Morphing Jar number 2, oh what a wild card. This one maybe is a little bit wackier than Morphing Jar number 1. Morphing Jar number 1 is actually a lot more consistent, you know what's happening, you're gonna draw 5, you get to do whatever you want with those cards, but Morphing Jar number 2, you're summoning stuff, you're drawing cards, you're seeing your opponent's cards, it's a lot. Oh, Chain Destruct, we have an ultra rare behind this, oh my god, I'm sitting here talking about Morphing Jar number 2, we have a Chain Destruction right behind it. That is a nice throwback ultra rare. This has been a really fun box to open. Armored Glass, Wing Weaver, and Oni Tank T34 once again. 3 packs left. Honestly, at this point, I think we are good. Maybe we'll see another super rare, but I don't think so. 3-headed Burning Land, Spikebot, Magic Drain, cool card. That was actually kind of good for a little while in side decks. Earthshaker, Major Riot, Darkfire Soldier number 1, and Respect Play. Yeah, Magic Drain is actually particularly good against decks that, have a couple really powerful spell cards, but might not always have extra spells in hand to discard. Darkfire Soldier number 2, Attack and Receive, Dark Bat, Light Force, Sword, and Mirror Wall. Oh my gosh, Mirror Wall, great card. This has been great in a lot of formats, in the TCG and Duel Links, all sorts of stuff. Mirror Wall is a fantastic old school trap card. You can get some pretty big comebacks with that card, so that's definitely a fan favorite. Final pack here, what do we have? Let's see. Gradius, Shadow of Eyes, World Suppression, Type 0 Magic Crusher, Vampire Baby, watch out, and Deep Sea Warrior for our final pack. Wow, what a box. I cannot believe that we pulled both Jinzo and Thousand Eyes Restrict. Although I suppose if you pull a secret rare, it's like a 50-50 for the Jinzo, so that's kind of like, I guess, not as crazy, but this is really exciting seeing these 2 cards in our box today. Anyway, that is all for today's video. Thank you to Konami for sending me this early box of Pharaoh Servant. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.